Hello everyone, this is Mr. Mazak, and I was hoping just to give a brief overview about what this project for our e-learning is going to be all about. As you can see here, I've pulled up the 7th grade social studies e-learning group, which you are all members of. And just to go over a couple quick things, just basic rules. This is an academic website. No inappropriate or hurtful language is ever okay. And texting lingo, keep it out of here. You know what texting lingo is. Just make sure that you're not doing it. When you do your writing, it needs to be written in grammatically correct sentences. Failure to follow the rules is going to be a permanent exile from the group, followed by the consequences at school. So follow the rules. Office hour times, I myself will be available in the chat section from 2 to 4 on Sundays, and Mrs. Meyer is going to be available from 3 to 5 on Wednesdays. I want to make this clear that since this is with both of us, bears and frogs, doing this, you can ask either Mrs. Meyer or myself, whether you are a bear or a frog, questions. We're both going to be available for all of you. So if you're unable to meet on Sundays, you can meet on Wednesdays in the chat room with Mrs. Meyer. If you're unable to meet with Mrs. Meyer on Wednesdays from 3 to 5, you can meet with me on 2 to 4. We've been both working very closely, working with this project, and we're excited to see how it works. So just some things for you to take a look at when you are getting ready with this. The resources for the project outline, everything that you are going to need is going to be here. Information, papers, websites, more is going to be added as we go through this, but I just wanted to make sure we are all on the same page here. And you can see Australia intro is there, which is what I would like to go over. Your project, which is going to be the scrapbook. So here is the project overview. A lot of pages are going to be in this that you are going to be using. So it says, "Good day, mates. Pick up your port," which is Australian slang for suitcase, and get ready to go back of Burke, which is a very long way, to the exciting land of Oz, Australia. No need to bring any moolah. Your trip is going to be free. We have planned 2 tours for you featuring many aspects of Australian culture and geography. Are you ready, Ace? Are you ready? Ace, which means excellent. You can tell I'm not Australian. Your task will be to make a scrapbook about your journey through Australian geography and culture. As you go through the tours, take notes in your notebook about the different destinations. When you are done with your trip, you will pick your 4 favorite places and include them in your scrapbook at the end. You will have 7 weeks to make your scrapbook. During the first 2 weeks, you will be on your vacation. Once you return, you will make a scrapbook explaining your travels. Your scrapbook is due Tuesday, May 27th. As you are traveling and making your masterpiece, keep in mind the following. Your scrapbook must have 1 page for every day you are gone, which is 7 pages. You must have a front page to your scrapbook. Your scrapbook must have a map on every page showing where you are. Your scrapbook must go over the culture, history, and geography of the area. You will also travel to another country for at least 1 day. You can go to New Zealand, Fiji, or New Guinea. This is included in your 7 days. You must have little descriptions about the places you visited, and fun facts or trivia, and what you did. You must have pictures of the place you visited, hand-drawn. Take a look at some of the sample scrapbook pages. Scrapbooks have witty sayings and plenty of color. Be creative and fun. I have a few scrapbooks that I will be showing you in a second. For example, you can see on the document camera, I'm recording with that. This is an example that I will get to in a second. Your expectations are shown above or below. On week 1, it's just going to be introduction and research. Week 2, so on and so forth, and then working on the scrapbook. On April the 22nd, your intro, research, and outline are going to be due. On May 13th, half of the scrapbook will be due, and you will also be required to participate in a gallery walk. On May 27th, the scrapbook is going to be due at school. We're going to collect it there. Remember, this e-learning curriculum, you are not going to be doing a single thing at school with this. It's going to be done all on your own. Here's the rubric. At the top, it says project information. You are traveling to Australia and another island in the Pacific Islands. When you get home, you'll be making a scrapbook about your travels that includes what you did and some fun facts about the topic. The topics need to cover the history, culture, and geography of the area. Notice the umbrella expectations and what's going to happen in order to meet all the points. Each row, as shown, row is worth a total of possibly 20 points. Notice it's out of 60. Notice we have the dreaded exceeds expectation column, which you need to explain how you feel you exceeded the expectations. Total of 60 points. So, that is what the rubric is going to explain. Notice your scrapbook needs to accurately include a map on every page with the location traveled, 7 major tourist attractions with destinations, and images of tourist attractions. Remember, a tourist attraction is something that you would go on vacation to visit. For example, Cedar Point is a tourist attraction. So is Disney World. Places like that that are touristy to go. Scrapbook has 3 of the following: culture of the Southwest Pacific, history, and the government of the Southwest Pacific. Quality, need little or no errors, no unused space, and creativity. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. So this one looks like that we have some pictures. Let me pull it out here if I can get it all together. Okay. You can tell some people got goofy with it. Have Australian Adventures. That's their cover. You can see them photoshopped in. It looks like they went to Ulakatra National Park and they had a dinner in the outback, and they put another shrimp on the Barbie. As you can see, it says there at the bottom below the picture, after a long day of climbing, we sit down to a wonderful dinner in the outback. Put another shrimp on the Barbie. How did they do that and put themselves in the picture? Well, they kind of sort of photoshopped themselves into it. I can give another tutorial a little later about how to do that, or not later, but on another video you can see how that's done. Same thing, they put a nice little bow that's, you can see, actually movable in here. That's a pretty nice touch. All sorts of other things in here. Somebody went swimming with whales, and you can see they photoshopped themselves in. Many of you are wondering, what if I don't have a computer or pictures of myself that I can use? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So hopefully this gives you a good idea about what they did. I wish I could get the document cam to be up a little higher. That's as high as it'll go. But there you can see it's pretty cool. Notice they put all sorts of things in, all the spaces used, handwritten descriptions. Looks like a scrapbook. So that's one. Now I'm going to show you another one. For those of you that are afraid about what it's going to be like if you have to Photoshop and you would rather just not Photoshop, this one is all hand-drawn. The map is hand-drawn. They have the flag of Australia hand-drawn in the shape. And page by page, it looks like a scrapbook, but it's all hand-drawn. Really cheap hotel room. A map of the route that they took. Says in here at the bottom, slept most of the late night flight, but I am in time to get my first glimpse of Australia's beautiful scenery. Welcome to Australia, mate. And there she drew herself into the scenarios that she is describing. Started the day off by taking the King's Gate tan around the Emu Bay, sorry. I'm having trouble reading this a little bit. Neatness is very important. Just a couple more pictures. You can see great use of space, great use of color. Doesn't look like it was thrown together all last minute. Lots of information in here about the culture of the Pacific Islands when it goes to New Zealand. Mentioning the Maori in here. It's a great way to do it. One page for every day. See, Maori is right here, about Maori culture. If you don't know what the Maori are, well, time to do your research. And then the trip back. So just a couple examples there of what that looked like. So hopefully you are ready to go. The rubrics right here. All the resources again are put in My Big Campus. I showed you where to find those. So remember to stay on top of the schedule. If you fall behind, you are going to get stressed out. So try to stay on schedule. This really shouldn't take you more than 4 or 5 hours total until the end of the school year to do. This is how we're covering Australia and New Zealand. So hopefully you're able to get some information out of this about the area and have a little fun at the project. So good luck. If you have any questions, remember we're holding office hours.
Bryce Rochford, please come to the office.
And I still am in Summit. You could hear the announcement being made. So, but remember, Sundays 2 to 4, I will be available. And on Wednesdays from 3 to 5, Mrs. Meyer will be available. So if you have any questions outside of that, you can shoot us My Big Campus messages, and we'll get back to them as soon as you can. Good luck.